5 nonfiction comics I think you should read. Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. This is an amazing memoir of a young girl growing up in revolutionary Iran. Starting off with the days where they were able to pretty much dress as they wanted to, and then they had to wear the veil, as they call it. And just growing up during that time, dealing with the conflicts of her own family and the issues of Iran at the time. Incredible story. One of the best gateway comics you can hand to a new comic book reader. Three Rocks, the story of Ernie Bushmiller, the man who created Nancy. Nancy is one of the most recognizable comic creations ever. Ernie Bushmiller is the creator of her. And this is done by Bill Griffith. Bill Griffith does a great job of changing up the artistic style and storytelling style throughout this to make it a really interesting read as a comic book, while also learning about one of the greatest cartoonists of all time. The Twilight Man, Corin Shadmi. This is my first time I read anything by Corin Shadmi, and it made me a fan for life. I'm a huge fan of Rod Serling and The Twilight Zone, and this tells the story of his life and the creation of The Twilight Zone. So you get a little bit before, during, and after The Twilight Zone. And his art style is really, really amazing and brilliant. And Rod Serling is just one of the most fascinating figures in the history of entertainment, in my opinion. Chartwell Manor by Glenn Head. This was one of my favorite reads the year it came out. It's truly a harrowing depiction of Glenn Head's upbringing. Glenn Head was an underground cartoonist, but he had a rough childhood and rough upbringing, going to this all-boys school where the headmaster of the school was a predator and preyed on the youth there. And it's a great depiction of how it then shaped Glenn Head's life and his mental health and everything thereafter. And Glenn Head has an amazing underground cartoonist style, where it's trippy and psychedelic at times, but just really depicts the raw energy of all the harrowing things that happened during that time. The Fifth Beatle, the Brian Epstein story by Vivek Tiwari, Andrew C. Robinson, and Kyle Baker. It's an amazingly drawn depiction of Brian Epstein, who is the fifth Beatle, the fifth most important figure in the creation of the Beatles. So you get a lot of fun behind the scenes story and anecdotes you might have heard about the Beatles in the past, but you get it from Brian Epstein's perspective. And Kyle Baker is one of the great innovative artists, so he really brings a lot of these stories to life in a really interesting way, and a great way to read these. I can't recommend this enough for fans of the Beatles or just fans of music history. Now you can look up at the link in my bio for longer form videos, and everyone keep talking comics.